Reactor spitting fire. The NFT analyzer, diving deep into projects. He's the crypto energizer. From remit coins to tokens, he's got all the intel. Web3 is a tree to show you where to excel. He's got the insights like a digital magician, unveiling secrets of the blockchain with precision. Wild stories from the web, he's always in the know. Crypto community, vibing where the treasures flow. Web3 wonders, chain reactors on the scene. NFT insights and crypto dreams.
Good morning, guys. Happy freaking Friday. Good morning, Gravity. Good morning, Peter. Good to see you guys. Hey, we got a cool show today. I don't say so myself, guys. Special guest today. I'm really, really excited about this here. Cool guy, Ronin the Collector. The man's here to talk about. It sounds like it's like a passion project, kind of a dream of his. Yeah, Ronin's a great dude. Cats, we probably met him probably right around the same time. Really, really great guy. Met him. Well, I'll save that for when he comes on. Ronin's coming on here probably in about half an hour. We're going to do our normal thing, hit the market stuff, get into some macro stuff, some micro, some stories, all that good stuff. And then we'll get Ronin on for the back half. Dude, I can't wait. I can't wait. Good vibes out there right now. Guys, smash the like. Make sure you're subscribed here to Chain Reactor. Subscribe over at SlamX Official on YouTube. It's SlamXIO over on X. Got the spaces cooking as well if you guys want to come up and chat. Let me think. Yeah, you're welcome to come up anytime, honestly. When Ronin comes, we're talking Ronin, but I'm sure he's down for questions too. So again, if you do want to come chat, find me at Hudah_idiot on X. Hop up on stage. Be fun to chat with you. Let's start off with a little bit of a heads up, little FUD actually, but heads up, guys, the Taproot Witches Mint, it is happening this morning after that 24 or so hour delay. Guaranteed coming up in an hour. OG coming up in an hour. Guaranteed actually kind of accurate. So some FUD out there this morning. Some FUD, okay? Witch list, which we were told all along is guaranteed. It's not. Sounds like it's actually first come, first serve, but probably better odds. Yeah, you're not guaranteed, although the odds are much better than the first come, first serve tier here. So, heads up about that. That's the FUD, though. Witchlist thought they were guaranteed, which put me in that group. Thought it was guaranteed. It's not. Little FUD with this project, how they kind of fumbled at the tail end here, right before launch. But, man, this stuff's way harder than it might look. So, whatever happened, wishing those guys luck. And girls, whoever luck. And I'm not missing that mint, and I'm definitely flipping that bad boy. What's up, Nifty Q? Good to see you, brother. We still need to chat. I want to get your ass on this show. Should be fun. All right, guys, let's get into it. We'll start. I think it's similar like with the Witches story. It's a heads up. It's a reminder. It's a reminder of who our enemy actually is, and I say that kind of tongue-in-cheek, like our enemy. I kind of mean it, guys. Do you remember last year, early 2023, when banks were collapsing, right? Silvergate, Signature, it was the big story. It was pretty fuddy out there. More and more is coming out that was by design. Something called Operation Choke Point. Whether that was real and it was really a defined like campaign behind the scenes actually called that or not, it was purposeful. The goal was to really cut off specific banks who were servicing the crypto industry. I think that was going around back then too. Again, 2023. I think that was the narrative behind the scenes, but more and more it's seeming like it was purposeful. It was by the federal government. It's the very same people who now are saying they're pro-crypto, and I'll tell you what, I certainly don't buy it. I hope you guys don't buy it too. Probably worth digging into. Probably worth reminding, too. Nate's going to be on the show here in the next few weeks. We're getting that firmed up now. Probably a topic I want to dive into with him. So should be fun. Should be a good conversation. But again, don't forget, who's actually on our side and who's actually not. And keep in mind, the SEC still is going after so many people, projects, sectors of this space. Consensus had countersued, I hope you guys remember, but countersued the SEC and Gary Gensler. That was just dismissed yesterday. This was incorrectly reported at first as the lawsuit, SEC's lawsuit against Consensus was thrown out. Not true. It's the other way around. It's the countersuit. It's the Consensus suit against the SEC and Gensler that was dismissed. So the lawsuit's still on. Man, I know we're all feeling bullish, rightfully so. I'm going to give you some good reasons why we should be bullish, but there's a lot coming up that's not so great for the space, and there are going to be some bumps in the road here coming up. Man, so many bumps in the road that you have BlackRock here saying that they're preparing for a $35 trillion Federal Reserve dollar crisis. They're preparing for it with Bitcoin. This is why BlackRock, through all the ups and downs of the market, hasn't been selling. I don't know if you guys have seen those stories out there. I'd like to think we've covered it, but saying it out loud, I'm not sure if I've really shared that too much. BlackRock hasn't sold any of their Bitcoin. And if they have, it's been very little compared to the rest. They're just accumulating. They're just piling up their Bitcoin. And they are planning for, I don't know, could you call it like catastrophic conditions out there? It certainly feels like that. That's what it feels like to me. So BlackRock, again, preparing for a $35 trillion dollar crisis. Pretty scary. Not so scary if you're sitting with big old bags of Bitcoin. And guys, now's the time. Now's the time. We have talked about this. The global money supply, we're talking global liquidity, continues to climb to new all-time highs. And historically, that does one thing for Bitcoin. Usually means price goes up, guys. And we're just entering that phase right now with the rate cuts earlier this week. Again, with global money supply, all-time high, everything is lining up for a really, really special run here. So I can't wait. I can't wait. It's going to be really hard to let go of Bitcoin. I'll tell you this, though. If you're not a miner, I mean, like a Bitcoin miner, which I'm not, the only way you're going to be mining Bitcoin is minting ordinals, flipping runes. And you know what, really? It's trading for crypto and NFTs on any chain, converting back to Bitcoin. I hope that's your goal. I hope that's everybody's goal, your mission here. Not just in this run, but especially in this run here when things are going to get pretty magical. Stack your Bitcoin. Don't forget to stack your Bitcoin. It's going to be a fun time. Looking at the crypto market right now, pretty solid 24 hours here. Bitcoin over 63K. ETH over 2,500. That's freaking beautiful. Up to almost 5% in the past 24 hours. But Solana doing what we thought it would do with Breakpoint going on right now. Solana absolutely on a tear right now. Up almost 7%. Over $150. Again, a lot of people predicting Solana wasn't going to hang around 128, 29, 30. Not with the biggest conference going on. And man, that conference looks awesome. We'll get into that here shortly. But Solana ripping as expected. Taking a look at the ETF. Starting with Bitcoin, guys. 158 million in inflows yesterday. Great day inflows there. And on the east side, man, awesome shit. Give yourselves a round of applause. I don't know what. We were finally in the positive on the Ethereum side too. 5.2 million in inflows yesterday. Been brutal over there. Can we maintain some kind of momentum there? I doubt it. I hope so. We'll see. All right, let's look at the NFT markets, guys. 9.4 million in cross-chain sales yesterday. Really low volume right now, guys. And it is what we normally see with conferences happening, right? People are away. The narrative is over there. It's not in the market. So, again, very low sales. 2 days in a row of sales under 10 mil. So, again, very, very low. Heading into the weekend, which is typically our slowest part of the week. So, we'll see what happens here over the next couple days. But unique sellers down, unique buyers down. Transactions actually up. But, again, it does show participants throttling back, and it has a lot to do with those conferences. Trade profits at negative 476,000 yesterday and starting today at 161K in the negative. Man, I can't wait for NFTs to rip again. I'll just leave it at that. I'll say this, not looking bad for right now, all things considering, and maybe that's more of a feel. Maybe that's more sentiment. I will say weekly volume is on trend to be the worst of 2024, and I'm expecting it to finish that way too. As far as who's moving the market, guys, a Polygon collection, and actually a legitimate collection here at the top. Yeah, we normally see wash trading, or we see pure money laundering collections here. Not today. Again, Mining Pass, which was also up here yesterday, comes from Planet 9 or Planet IX. It's a legit DeFi project. They've got these mining rigs. You mint these meta crystals. It's a real deal project, guys, with over 1 million in volume in the past 24 hours. Good to see that. It's followed by Sorare. Autoglyphs, I don't know how legit that is as far as sales. Those are legit transactions, but you're probably looking at loans over on Gandhi right there. We have Guild Guardian Heroes, Solana Monkey Business, Dookie, Mad Lads, Node Monks, Bored Ape Yacht Club, and Tensorians. Good shit, man. Rounds out the top 10 here. Honorable mention to Fantasy Top, who I hope people are paying attention. Fantasy Top has been cooking here for weeks at least. Weeks at least. They rounded some kind of corner. There is a different kind of energy back in Fantasy Top. And what it really is, guys, the Blast ecosystem took a big hit after TGE, right? It was a big turnoff to people, but a great product can overcome something like that. A great product is going to keep traders there. It's going to keep gamers there. And they have a great product. It was easy to dunk on those guys as like a flavor of the month, but I hope you've heard here, guys, consistently said that's a real deal application. It's something that actually is fun for people. And if you can make it rewarding enough, it'll work. And it's working. So Fantasy Top there, almost $250,000 in volume in 24 hours. It's a great platform. I think you're going to see them do something special here in this next run. I do. All right, top collectible selling in the past 24 hours. Let's just go with number one here. It's CryptoPunk 7807, selling for just about 40 ETH, guys, $97,000. Feeling like it's going to be punk season again. I'm just feeling it. I don't know why. Just feeling it. A lot of Bored Ape sales, too. Maybe a lot to do with Dookie Dash. I will also get to Dookie Dash in a second here, but a lot of attention in the Yuga ecosystem. This guy's steering that ship into pretty awesome waters here. Big X copy sale yesterday. Nothing like the 300 ETH sales we've been seeing lately, but still, 17.5 ETH for Rabble 20. Just every day we're seeing something in the X copy ecosystem that turns heads. Love to see it. Love that guy. Love his work. Great to see. All right, Dookie Dash. Launched yesterday. I don't know if you guys played it. I actually did. Installed it, played it a little bit. The community loves it. I'll say that. At the very least, the community absolutely loves the game. Some, like Gordon Goner, saying things like, fuck you, cow. Oh, God, fucking damn it, no why. Dude, it ain't my cup of tea. It's not. I tried playing the game. Dude, it was fun. It's fun enough. I'm not a mobile game guy, I guess. Not my cup of tea. I'm probably not going to play it much longer. I get why it's addicting, though. Like, if you will sit there and rerun, I get it. There's $1 million prize on the other end of it, too. So I will say, game looks fun, not my cup of tea. Plenty of other people's cup of tea. The game in the top 10 in the past 24 hours on the App Store, I think it got as high as number 3 or 4. So clearly enough people like it. Clearly it's fun enough for enough people. I'm going to give it one more chance here. There's a desktop version. I'm going to try that because I just don't like sitting hovering over my phone. I'm going to try it on the PC, and maybe I'll have a little better time with it. And I don't want to make it sound like I didn't have fun. It was cool. It's just not my style. Now, Project Dragon is my style of game, right? That's the Yuga Labs metaverse experience. They've opened up the doors to the other side metaverse in the past 2 months. Number 3 coming up here September 27th, okay? It's a third-person shooter. It's a big, chaotic event. And they're introducing, like they said they would do, more mechanics. It sounds like this time around, they're going to shrink some players. The way they worded it here, they're going to change the formula, making the game feel much bigger to them, to specific members of the team. Again, I think they're shrinking players, and what'll that do exactly? I don't know. But it's kind of a capture the flag shooter game or capture the bases. Honestly, it looks fun. Did I even get into play? I think I didn't play yet. Just watched a lot of footage. I'm going to try to play this time around. Again, that's more my cup of tea, so good on them. Okay, conference season continues. The big conference is going on right now. This is so funny, man. Big conference is going on right now, and actually just ended his token 2049, right? Game over for them. It's Solana Breakpoint right now. Now, Crypto Fight Week, guys, I don't know where this is at. I don't know if this was announced at Token 49 or if this is kicking off Breakpoint, but we got a big fight coming up in December. It's Ben Armstrong, a.k.a. BitBoy, versus Ansem. Here, I'm going to play this for you. It's... Dude, we can't stop the cringe here. We just can't. Hang on, let me get that audio squared away. I'm going to watch this. This looks fun, but my God.
Now, folks, CFN Dubai, December 6th, your main event. Ansem versus BitBoy.
Holy shit, is that Ron? It's Ron Jeremy. Holy shit.
This, folks, once again, Crypto Fight Night Dubai, December 6th.
You guys into this?
Get ready. It's gonna be wild.
No, BitBoy's going to kick his ass. BitBoy's going to wreck Ansem. Oh, Jesus Christ. Here you go. Dude, I'm
Once again, ladies and gentlemen,
dying of fucking cringe. Oh, my God. Okay, Awful Eye. Third-person shooter. Just picture, you've seen him before. Picture first-person shooter, but you're not looking like down the barrel of the gun, right? Like normal perspective. You're looking at the character. So look at like Gears of War or and there's a lot of games. Resident Evil, like a game that you're looking at the character. Same mechanics. It's just the perspective. You're looking at the game. You're not looking through the eyes of the character. And that's what the Project Dragon stuff is. All right, so there we go. I mean, this is cool. I like the fighting stuff. I do. I like it. It's just these guys so unbelievable cringe. Not that I wouldn't be doing the exact same thing, by the way. There was a big fight last night, though. This wasn't, well, I was going to say this wasn't planned or orchestrated. It probably was, but Ansem and his crew getting into it with another group of guys. Again, I don't know if this is Token 2049 or if this is at Breakpoint. But getting a little scrappy here. Ansem in the background. I mean, this one was kind of real.
The content. Let them fight. Fucking fools.
Did he call them fucking tools or fools? What did he say there?
They're fighting. Who's the bigger grifter?
There you go. Yeah. I like this guy, whoever's filming. Yep. That's my kind of dude. It's silly. It's all for engagement. I'll tell you what. I like what's going on Solana. I think this conference looks bonkers. I'm talking again, Breakpoint. A lot of big news coming out of there. Again, awesome conference. It feels very orchestrated though. And maybe that's because we got the influencer stuff happening ahead of time, right? The what's her name? Bangers and the Solana Girl House and all that stuff ahead of time. And again, you know, it's a very orchestrated thing. It's very packaged. It's very, it sounds weird to say. It's very corporate, and they've just done a good job of disguising that. That feels fake. Not what I'm pointing at on screen, but what we just looked at. The Ansem thing feels fake. Is it? I don't know. Anyway, at Breakpoint, big announcements, really cool stuff cooking on Solana. Solana, I hope you feel the energy over there. I don't feel that energy on ETH, and not knocking ETH. I love ETH. I think Ethereum is totally fine. Short-term, long-term, all of it. But Solana's got that thing. So they got that thing. PayPal's Jose Fernandez echoing that. Basically, Ethereum isn't the best solution for payments. It's not the best solution for a lot of things right now. It will be. It will be. But that's why PayPal launched their stablecoin over on Solana. And I don't know if they've got some payment services or products over there too, if it's just the stablecoin. But that's why they picked Solana. Easier to use, cheaper to use. And especially now, guys, with Fire Dancer, man, big Solana upgrade that enables, 1 million transactions per second? Up from 1,000 per second right now, live on testnet. Guys, it's live. Oh, wait, hang on. It's on mainnet now? Did this just break this morning? Kevin Bowers announces that Frankendancer is now live on Solana mainnet. Oh, okay. Okay, there's a difference. I don't know what Frankendancer is. But Fire Dancer is what I was talking about. The 1 million transactions a second. That's on testnet. I'm not sure Frankendancer. Someone will have to school me on that. But 1 million transactions a second is coming to mainnet. Outages supposedly will be a thing of the past. Now we'll see. Keep in mind, Solana is still in beta. It is. It's still in beta. They need a year of uptime to get into production mode, whatever, right? It's still in beta. They have an outage again, guys. It's back to square one. It's resetting that 12-month countdown. Still great to see. Great tech iterations, innovations, all of that over there. Solana is very, very special. Man, so much so that Visa kind of echoing PayPal's stance take here. 95% of stablecoin transactions on Solana are under $100. You can't do that on ETH. Gas fees make that completely cost prohibitive. You can't do it on ETH yet. ETH will get there, but man, are you losing some potential big business over to Solana? I think they'll have a footprint on both sides, to be totally honest here. But again, right now, everybody choosing Solana. Here you go, more Visa news. They've launched with Fuse Wallet a virtual Visa card. Again, use your stable coins with a virtual Visa card. Pretty damn cool. Again, great building going over there. And by the way, still more cringe. We'll never escape it, guys. We'll never fucking escape it. Oh, God.
I see you, boy. Get it.
I love the sound effects added to it, right? That's all added. God damn it. You know what I mean? It's all fake. It's all fake. Influencer of the year here from Token 2049. Influencer of the year. Fake. Fake stupid ass diamond ring. It's fake. Fake stupid ass necklace, a $23 necklace. It's all fake. It's all fake and people are getting got. Guys, it's an honor and privilege to be hanging with you guys who can see right through this bullshit, who aren't affected by it, who can laugh at it. It's so stupid and fake. Unfortunately, he gets people. I'm sure he does. I'm sure this man's getting paid with his grifty bullshit. Whatever. Oh, dude, GG's. GG's. Strong, grifty game. Okay. Even around the fakeness, guys, there are many, many opportunities to make money. I hope you follow, what is it, Soul Jakey. Man, you know, he's a dude. Great influence, all that stuff. He's pointing out a couple tokens here that are making some waves out there at Breakpoint here. Actually, both at Token 2049 and Breakpoint. We got Kobe, Mumu, Chunky. NFA, I've not looked at any of the charts, looked into anything about any of those tokens, but we are going to get some meme coin winners out of this thing, whether it's short-term or something actually catches on and becomes maybe a big old sensational token. Could happen. Absolutely could happen, guys. So check out those tokens. Stay active. Stay engaged. The energy's shifting. It is, man, it's money-making time. All right, now, if this story is true, guys, it may be a little longer before you make money on the ME token. Supposedly, broken by Solana News.Sol, delayed till November, December. I don't know that we ever had a date to begin with, so I don't even look at that as a delay. But at least it's a time frame. It's a time frame. If this is accurate, I think it is. A little bit longer of a wait to get that ME token. I don't think it's going to have the value a lot of people are hoping, so I don't think it matters, but keeping you informed and updated. All right, a couple more bullet points here. We'll get into some conversations. We'll get Ronin up here shortly. Guys, Beeple. I love this. I really do. Although, I got to ask you guys, does this start bordering on cringe, or can Beeple do no wrong? Beeple announcing another big event at Beeple Studios, so he has the election night party coming up here in about 45 days. But he's also announced a collaboration with, man, a 3-star or a Michelin 3-star. I'm so uncultured. I don't even know how to fucking say it. A chef that has 2 3-star Michelin restaurants. Thomas Keller. Okay? So Beeple, TLDR, hosting a big, fancy, freaking dinner party at Beeple Studio. It's cool. It's cool. Also ain't my thing. But I think this part is actually cool. He's partnering with a winemaker. I'm going to butcher these names kind of on purpose, but also whatever. A winemaker who's making this like limited run of wine aged 621 days. Something to do with his everydays. I'm not exactly sure here. What is it? Featuring the 621 days of everyday artworks created during this time. Okay, interesting. I dig it. So a little milestone period for him, I think. And that's going to be the artwork featured on these wine bottles, which looks really cool. And I'm not going to lie, I've collected wine bottles before. Not like crazy, but I've had a few. This would be cool. I would have this sitting around in my house right now. I'm not going to show you. I should, but I'm not going to show you. My wine rack has got replica lightsabers in it right now. It could probably stand to have a nice bottle of wine in it. But anyway, really cool. I don't know if there's a fee to attend here. I don't. The election party's free. I think the punk party was free. I think Pepe Fest was free. I don't imagine this one's going to be free. That said, it looks cool, and if you're like a fancy motherfucker, you may want to go. Rub elbows with some probably big-name people, and it's probably going to be a fantastic dinner. All being totally honest, it's probably really cool. So kind of having fun with it, but looks really cool. People can do whatever the fuck he wants, and it'll be cool. We'll end that there. I don't know, man. Does Rafiq Anadol get the same treatment, the same luxury? Okay, this kind of slipped my radar, but this was out maybe a few weeks back. Rafiq Anadol is featured in a Bill Gates documentary called What's Next? Shout out to English for putting this on my radar. This is live on Netflix right now. I'm not going to play the video because I keep getting copyright strikes. like over and over, and I'm having videos full on zapped, like full on blocked, which is a pain in the ass. But his artwork at the very least is featured. I don't know if Rafiq shows up and is in an interview, but a heads up, Rafiq, ex Bill Gates, ex World Economic Forum. I don't even know that. I'm goofing, but actually Rafiq has been collabing with them. It's weird. It's weird. Less cool than what people's doing. Just being honest here. All right, update on the Banana Gun Telegram bot we talked about yesterday. Guys, at this point, almost $2 million in funds were stolen from that exploit. 36 victims, it looks like here. Be very careful, guys. Even bots, I mentioned yesterday, I use the Trojan bot on Telegram, and I consider any funds that I leave in there gone. That's the headspace I put myself in. The whole not your keys, not your crypto thing. Anything in a bot, I assume somebody's going to try to poke holes in and it'll steal your money. So keep that in mind. We saw it happen yesterday, past 48 hours. Be careful, be safe. All right, guys, just a few hours left to grab your Doodles Rubik's pack. I bought 3. I might give them one away, but I'm going to be really honest and really selfish here. I want to hit that Rubik's Cube, the diamond Rubik's Cube. It's fucking bonkers. And I'm feeling lucky. Well, yeah. I think I got to roll the dice on that. You have 2.5 hours to go to grab your pack. I don't think we can crack them open today. I think they usually wait for crack packing a couple days later, but we're going to see who hits that thing, man. Somebody's getting a $20,000 diamond Rubik's Cube. It looks bonkers. There's a few other tiers that are physical Rubik's Cubes too, not diamond though. Really freaking cool. 2.5 hours left. Get one if you wanted to play. And I think we end here. Let me look ahead. Yeah, we look here, and we'll actually riff on this a bit. Oh, Vru. Okay, cool. I bet Vru, if Vru's telling me to check my DMs, maybe the man's hooked us up with some whitelists. I'll peek at that in a second. Conversation. Okay, we might get to this now. We might wait for after Ronin. Okay, Kook says this is the last easy cycle in crypto. After this, over. I don't agree. This cycle will be led by an institutional Bitcoin land grab. I agree there. After that, the only easy wins will be the weird ones on the edge of new. Oh, on the edge of new assets, tech, and crypto. Actually, okay, reading the full thing. I usually save these, by the way. I don't really go over them ahead of time in prep. I like to get like good, authentic live reactions, so I didn't read the whole thing. I thought I disagreed with him. I actually agree because he put the last part in. I don't think this is terribly different than it already is, okay? What I mean is the easy money is going to be over. The big money, the big gains are going to be, like he's saying, on the edge, at the technical forefront, at the cutting edge of these tech advancements. That's where you make money. Look, I don't think that's any different than normal. It's like, let's look at the most recent example. It's Pump.Fun. Small little iteration. If you got in early on that thing, you made a lot of money, most likely. It's exactly what he's saying it's going to play out again. I think what he's actually saying here is the tech innovations, evolutions are going to slow down. And because of that, we're going to have maybe less opportunities. This also implies that the major cryptos aren't going to move as much as they have before, right? We're not going to see 2, 3, 4, 5x in Bitcoin. I also disagree there. I do. I'm one of those guys who, look, I buy into the Michael Saylor school of thought that we're going to see $3 million Bitcoin, maybe $13 million Bitcoin, all the way up to that bull case of, what was it, $25 or $40 million? I buy it. It also means the US dollar's dead. It also means that. But look, guys, it's an easy thing to buy into when you see BlackRock literally prepping for the same thing. It all ties together. I think he's wrong. Look, it's a common sense take. It's a common sense take to think that we've almost maxed out where what we can get out of Bitcoin. I think he's wrong. It's easy to get in that headspace, but I think he's wrong. I think Bitcoin and all the major cryptos have a lot more room to grow. I also think the value of money is about to change significantly. Okay, so maybe what your money buys you doesn't really change. It's the numbers that start changing. See if that makes sense after I said it out loud. I think there's a lot more fuckery at foot and ahead of us. And I don't think the opportunities ever stop, ever. I mean that. This is a brand new asset class here. I mean this. Digital ownership has changed everything, and a small fraction of anything IRL has actually made its way into the digital realm, and it's all coming, all of it. Everything we thought early on, I'm talking again, years ago when you first got in the space, your belief that everybody's going to be in crypto, everybody's going to be in NFTs, every business is going to be touching this space, I still believe that's all happening, and I think you guys do too. I think none of us have really changed our mind to that. that tells me opportunities everywhere. I think it doesn't end. Period. I don't think any of it ends. Curious your guys' thoughts. Do you think the good times are almost over? Is this last run the last easy run? And maybe I could see that scenario play out if this run is also a mass adoption event, right? Like your neighbors and your family all finally gets into crypto. If that happens, maybe. I could talk myself right out of that. It's an interesting conversation. Honestly, we could probably put a whole freaking episode to it. More people in means there's more people who are in the space that you're still going to pay more attention to what's happening here than them. And we know how people are. We know that they're very easy to, what's the right word? Not manipulate. They usually chase things, right? Those are the people that chase. It's very easy to take money from people who chase. So I don't know. Again, this would be a great conversation at some point. In fact, dude, maybe I'll save this conversation for the weekend, right? We do the weekend streams. It's probably a good chat for the weekend. But start talking about what does the future look like? What do future runs look like? I think maybe just summing up my take, though, I think he's wrong. I think it's that simple. I think he's wrong. I think the good times are kind of here forever. They may not even feel good, but I think opportunities like never end. That's what I think. So fight me if you disagree. We'll hop in the ring. Ansem versus BitBoy style. That's what we'll do. All right, we got Ronin here. Give me a second. I'm going to bring him up on stage. Let me give you a little intermission tune. Hang on real quick, guys.
Eclectic method. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Until their client either buys or fucking dies!
Sober. Fucking sucks. Boring, right? So boring. I want to kill myself.
Get fucking rich. Who's rich every fucking time? All we care about is getting fucking rich.
It's a wazi, it's a woozy, it's a fairy dust. It doesn't exist. It's never landed. It is no matter. It's not on the elemental chart. It's not fucking real.
YouTube, Facebook, Vimeo, SoundCloud, Twitch, Instagram.
Dude, that song always goes way fucking longer than I expect, but it's every second. It's incredible. I love it. Ronin, brother, good to see you, man.
Dude, good to see you. I'll tell you what, I'm a little sluggish this morning, and that intro got me hella hype. I don't know if you saw me in like the preview.
Yep.
I don't know why my hat feels like it's crooked. Maybe it's just the angle.
It's just the crooked head.
Yeah, dude. But
Dude,
good stuff, man. How you doing?
dude, I'm great. We'll keep each other energized. I'm okay. So I replied to you on X, and I wasn't kidding. I barely slept last night. Um, Ronan and I chatted yesterday. Like whenever I don't have people on here much, if and when I do, I want to chat just to like plan things. Like this is unscripted. I don't mean plan things as in like have some orchestrated phony fucking conversation, but I like to make people comfortable and just get an idea and make sure I hit on things that are important. Because when you get caught up in a conversation, it's so easy to miss really fucking important things that you really want to make sure people knew, and it's so easy to skip over it. We ended up talking about aliens, like we do here, like we fucking do, and I told Ronan that I listen to Art Bell at night now, and it's how I fall asleep. Art Bell every night for the past like 3 weeks. Anyway, I got on one last night. I grew up religious, so some stuff really spooks me. I got on an episode yesterday about like demons and shadow people. Done, fucking done. No sleeping. Everywhere I look around, there's fucking shadow people everywhere. I keep my eyes closed because I'm pretty sure I'm going to see one if I open my eyes. I'm not even kidding. I'm 43 and I'm still like a little kid with that stuff, dude. Brutal.
Dude, I feel that so hard. So I think like during the conversation last night, I gave you like because I thought it was hilarious that you said you've been falling asleep to it, because I literally have been working my way through the new Danny Jones episode. And for anyone who doesn't watch Danny Jones, he's like a long form interviewer. So he does like 3-hour long interviews. And most of his guests like recently have definitely been on like the alien UFO, like, topic. And so I thought it was really hilarious because I've been going to sleep to Danny Jones every night for the past few nights, listening to the newest one, which is basically aliens are future humans. And the most messed up part was last night, I didn't get into bed because we were pushing some product today. And so it was 2:30 in the morning. I put my headphones on. I start listening to Danny Jones. And this is the type of stuff that like is like kind of soothing to me to just think about like what could be, whatever. And then they go so left field and like they start talking about another guest that he had and nuclear war and nuclear winter and how fragile like we are when it comes to the potential of literally completely wiping ourselves out. And the fact that they shared was basically like, if North Korea launched a nuke, we have 12 minutes before it hits us. We've got 3 minutes to make a decision on how we want to respond. And if we do choose to respond to fire back, we don't have enough time to warn our allies or warn Russia that we have done so to retaliate against specifically North Korea. Thus, the odds are very likely that they would also respond in kind. And within hours, you're talking about mankind like wiping itself out. And that was the last thing I heard. And I was like, I can't listen to this. I'm not going to be able to sleep.
Oh man, it's crazy. It's crazy when you start going down that rabbit hole and realizing how, man, fake stuff is and how that's it, just kind of artificial, and how fucked we are. That was a big story over the past like year or so too, is talking about like nuclear annihilation. And it's just like you said. And on top of that, that like we don't even have any kind of tech that can knock those things out of the sky. Like somebody launches it, you are fucked. You got nothing that really can stop these things with how fast they travel. So GG's, enjoy your time here. Trade your shitters, have fun, make some money. It might be over in 12 minutes. So,
Exactly.
All right, let's get into it, dude. Do you want let's start with introducing yourself if you don't mind.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm Ronin. A lot of people know me as like Ronin the Collector. I got into NFTs in 2020. And Cosmos said we need to warn him before we go from Web3 to Apocalypse talk. I got into Web3.
Back and forth, man,
Yeah, exactly. It's smooth transitions here. Got into NFTs in 2020. My first experience was with Garbage Pail Kids on Wax. Nice. And for anybody who was around at that time, man, I think like something Wax did like that was super unique was they really nailed the like collector psyche, I feel like, right? And so it completely sucked me in. Got super obsessed with it. It was really cool to watch like a community. Wax, when it first launched, and at least when Garbage Pail Kids launched, was such a horrible ecosystem. It had one marketplace. That marketplace was poorly like coded. It didn't have any filters. So if you looked for like a card you wanted, you couldn't filter in any way. So if you wanted a card that you needed for your set, you would have to search for the card, and then you'd get like 20 pages of listings, and you would have to go through every single page to see what the prices were on the items, because you couldn't sort them by like cheapest to expensive or anything like that.
What was it called, by the way? Was it
horrible.
like Atomic? Was it the Atomic Marketplace?
Atomic is what resulted.
Okay.
So I think it was like Simple Assets or something like that. Simple something. It was a very basic contract. And what was amazing was exactly that. In 2 weeks, the community had come together and built a handful of tools. And all these tools made trading and collecting much easier. And what ended up resulting out of that was actually Atomic, I think it was like Atomic Hub. They ended up writing the V2 version of the Wax main contract for NFTs. So the first one was like simple whatever assets, and then the V2 of every NFT from that point forward on Wax was the Atomic contract. And so I got to literally watch that get created in real time, and it was the first time that I had seen the builder side of things. And so it was cool to like go in and see problems and see like how the community was interacting, and watch developers create tools to like appease those needs, right? Like one of the big things that we used to do was called pack cracks. And so you would, the way it worked is you could buy NFTs that were in the form of like a pack, right? So a pack would hold 25 cards, 10 cards, or 5 cards. And so the 25 card packs were the mega packs. And once they sold out, man, they were like $50, I think, to buy. They got up to like $300 or something, $400 for a pack. So what people started doing was we would split packs, and then we would agree on how like the assets that came out of the packs would be distributed. But someone had to do that manually. And it ended up causing some strife, because so we would pay for packs, and then we'd be like, you get this one, I get that one, you get this one.
Would you like alternate by number? Like
alternate by number, or like I get the first 5 that come out of the pack, you get the next 5. The problem is that visually, they showed you the packs revealed backwards.
Wow.
Versus what was actually revealed on the blockchain, which isn't a big deal until you hit a super ultra rare card that's currently going for $1,500. And the person who gets the second half of the cards looks at the blockchain and realizes that it came out in the second half, but they were revealed in the first half of the actual reveal animation, right? So what happened is someone went and created a web page that you could go to. You could pool your money and purchase packs as a group.
Wow. And
and then the contract would purchase the pack, it would open the pack, and then it would distribute all the cards from the pack to the people who pitched in for that asset. And it would do it all on chain, right?
That's crazy. I never heard of that, and I haven't seen anybody doing that now. And right now, that would work too.
Dude, absolutely. And I think that that's where, if anybody hanging out follows me, I talk a lot about like, I think the biggest key aspect of NFTs that we're missing now that we had abundance of in 2020 and early 2021 was fun. Like everybody was creating experiences because they wanted you to have fun. And the assumption was if we created a fun environment and a fun product, people are going to want to buy it. They're going to want to interact with it, and they're going to want to stay in our community and ecosystem. Nowadays, that mindset has changed to how can we make people money, right? And that is so antithesis. You know what I mean?
I know
To
I couldn't say it either.
Yeah, me either. To my ethos and like how I came into the space and why I believe NFTs actually have like purpose and real world applicability, right? And so something that I've talked a lot about over the past years, like we need to get back to the fun, and that is a little bit of how Leet Labs came to be. Leet Labs is the company that I founded with 4 co-founders. And when I say like we founded a company, I mean like legitimately. We tell people this, and people are like, wait, you guys founded a real business, an LLC. You guys have like an operating agreement. You have shares in the company.
Wow. It's
for
not
an
just,
NFT project?
Yeah, dude. Wow. I'm shocked already hearing that, because most people, you create a business, but it's just a Discord server and some buddies in DMs, which is fine, but I certainly respect something that goes the next level, does it a little more legitimately. Damn. Okay. Keep going.
And so that's the way we want to approach like what we're doing in the space. We don't want to do it like you know, some anon degens behind a screen that are trying to convince you to give us money to build products that we're eventually not going to actually build for you, right? And we're not actually going to follow up. So with Leet Labs, kind of our ethos is like building with purpose. So we really want to build purposeful products on the blockchain. And so we've got like a lot of cool ideas. We definitely have some. Thank you, Cryptophagia, for giving me the right word I was looking for. Appreciate you.
Let's see if we can say it still. Antithetical.
I'm not even gonna try. I'm not
was
gonna
it.
try. It's too early, and I haven't had enough coffee yet. So, yeah, man. And essentially, like, I found some other people that aligned with that. You know, like I said, we're a team of 5. We're all co-founders on the operating agreement, which means we all have like some serious skin in the game.
When did you
and we
actually
all
start Leet Labs? So you went from collector to then project founder / business owner, and
over the course of about 4 years. I guess there's some
Wow.
steps in between. I don't know how like I skipped it, but essentially like collector turned content creator, right? So I think that's actually how you and I met.
Right.
We started a show July 2020, July 30th, I think 2020, called NFT Live. It was every Wednesday, every single Wednesday for I think almost 18 months straight. I don't think we like really skipped many weeks at all, except for maybe for holidays and stuff.
One of, if not like the first, like I think Web3 focus shows, like period.
100%. Absolutely. Like we were definitely one of the first Web3 shows. We were definitely, I think, like the first consistent weekly show. And then we did some really fun stuff. You know, early on, we tried to basically tokenize the network. We launched, you know, a social token that, you know, did pretty well at the beginning. It helped, you know, us kind of get off the ground. If you go back and look at some of the stuff from 2020, early 2021, our production value was through the roof. We actually were able to bring on like a, you know, a legitimate like director and production designer in Crypto Buffalo, who is still a really good friend of ours. And so, yeah, man, I did a lot of the content stuff. I did that for about a year and a half, running into the bull, like when everybody came into the space. And when that happened, I was actually super vocal on social audio, so Clubhouse. I was one of the early people in Clubhouse. I say this sometimes just tongue in cheek, but I mean it at the same time. I probably am the dude who introduced your favorite influencer from early, you know, NFT times to NFTs and help them, like, figure shit out. I mean, some of the biggest names, hundreds of thousands of followers, were DMing me, asking me how this stuff worked, wanting me to help them, you know, wrap their heads around it. I spent a lot of time.
Clubhouse? Like people are starting to hear the term NFT. They start
exactly.
around
I'm
Clubhouse
booting up rooms every day, talking for hours. Never forget the day that I was on stage and Farouk like hit me up and was like, dude, I want to bring in a homie. He wants to ask questions about NFTs. The next thing you know, Jake Paul is in the chat. And we've got, I think we maxed that room out. And at the time, I think the max for a room was like maybe 1,200 people. And by the end of the night, we had Jake Paul, MC Hammer, Steve Aoki, and Hannibal Burris. We're all in chat, dude, at like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I'm trying to explain to all these people what the hell a fucking NFT is, right? And so it was crazy, man. And that basically led to some cool opportunities early on in the space to do consulting. I consulted with some artists, some musicians on like early concepts. I hold this torch high, man. I took part in strategy for the first like professional boxing NFT drop, which was Canelo versus Billy Joe Saunders or something like that.
2021. This was
2021. The fight happened in May, I believe, and 100%. It's the first time anybody produced a commercial for NFTs.
Wow.
And I still have the recording of that commercial playing live on the pay-per-view. Like during the beginning of the show, they like were running NFT commercials to tell you to go buy the NFTs. It was a really cool experience, man.
Wild.
And so did some consulting that turned into working for a small startup that created a NFT platform that was targeting Fortune like 500 companies, like really big brands. I worked with like CNN for their early NFT project that was on our platform, and not NBA Top Shot, but UFC Slam. Okay. We launched UFC Slam through our platform. First ones to
CNN
push.
collection, that was on Flow. Am I thinking of the right one?
Yep. Yeah. Yep. So we built on Flow. We figured that mass adoption came through, easy onboarding practices. We really leaned into how NBA Top Shot was able to onboard so many people. And so we kind of ran with that. And built on Flow, worked with CNN, worked, with WB Studios, worked with a lot of just like really cool brands and stuff early on. Unfortunately, the bear starts to hit, got laid off. That actually pivoted into doing consulting for myself, which I did for a couple of different companies in 2022, including Superplastic, who I think a lot of people who are in the space know had a pretty big like NFC play early on that did pretty well. And then about a year ago, they decided not to renew the contract, man. And at that point, I was kind of like, okay, I've done consulting for a couple of years now. It's been a horrible experience. I've output so much creativity and so many ideas and so much of like myself into like these ideas and concepts. And most of them never like saw the light of day. And if they did, they saw it in a very severely butchered way that wasn't really to like my standards, right? I think probably the proudest project I have was the first NIL project to launch was called the Players Lounge, and we launched that with some ex collegiate athletes from the University of Georgia. And the way we worked that was we worked with 12 ambassadors from the team, and we launched a PFP project that basically got you like behind the scenes for the football team. And we sold out in like 4 hours, made like over $1 million on the sale, and we put over or just around $500,000 into collegiate athletes' pockets, which made me extremely happy. I've always believed that college athletes needed to get paid, and when they were finally able to get paid, to be able to do something that big and aid in helping them through their college years, financially, was a really proud moment for me. But outside of that, man, not a lot came to fruition. And so it was really frustrating. And I was at this point where it's like, eventually I know I want to do something for myself, like fully, and I want to like make a project and I want to do something in the space that's wholly mine. And so I said, F it, man. I at the time I had a couple of apes, some other, decent assets. I wholesale, like fire sale, all of it. I sold every asset I had. I sold all my crypto. I sold all my tokens. I threw it all into my bank account and basically paid myself. And so that's kind of like where the beginning of Leet Labs started and kind of how the journey began.
Man, okay. Was the worst part, I just got to ask this quickly, worst part of, I guess, the consulting, I think you said you had these creative visions and they just couldn't be realized because it wasn't, I guess it wasn't your baby at the core, I guess, right? You had to, I guess, do it yourself, for yourself, right?
Exactly. In those situations, when you're a consultant, anyone who's ever been a consultant, like, I think I talked to quite a few people after the fact and realized that this is very common. It's daunting to consistently have output that you don't see actual real results from. And when you're consulting for a lot of these like massive companies, they're paying you to give them ideas, but ultimately they're going to do what they want. So they're only going to hear the things they want to hear. They're going to ignore everything else, and they're going to take the parts that they think are going to make them profitable. And so that happened a lot, man. A lot of ideas that we had and we went over with clients on how to launch a project or how to support a community kind of fell on deaf ears. They would launch a project if they got to like launching, and it would be half-baked, things like that. And so just takes a lot out of you, man. Takes a lot out of you.
Dude, I bet. Dude, I did not know your history. I did not know it that deep. Man, pay your fucking respects, guys. Jeez, dude, talk about OG. But again, like actually working. A lot of people call themselves OGs because they were here early in collecting and trading, and that gives you the OG stamp. And it does to a degree, but working in the space and actively being one of the builders in the space early on is a whole different thing. So, dude, major respect. Crazy story.
I appreciate that, man.
That's so cool. want to pick your brain about that stuff more again. But okay,
Yeah.
so all of that, your experience, your love of the space, you being a very, very creative person, then led to, like you said, Leet Labs, which
Yeah.
is kicked off officially, company created just this year.
Yeah. Yeah. So Leet Labs, we founded Leet Labs officially in July. I started the journey in January with kind of this like idea to build a platform, a digital collectible platform that I wish that I had. And there's definitely some digital collectibles out there that are not necessarily Web3 that have really cool experiences when it comes to collecting, you know, digital cards and things and trading and completing sets and stuff. And that was kind of like what I started this whole trek with. And kind of long story short, had a little bit of a false start. I put the idea out there and not really expecting. I figured, you know, maybe I'd get 30, 40 people into the Discord. People would start riffing with me on the ideas. And over time, we'd be able to kind of build something cool together. And I woke up the next morning after putting the tweet out and letting people know what I'm doing. And there was 300 people in Discord. And 48 hours after I tweeted, we had 600 people in Discord. And I realized that like I was not ready. And I think that that's pretty common in the space. I think people, you know, they have ideas and you want to validate them, right? Like, and it kind of killed me a little bit inside because I was like, dude, this is exactly what I don't want to do. Like the whole, again, the idea behind Leet Labs is we want to come to the table with product, something you can actually touch, something you can actually experience and play with, to show people that if you choose to like, you know, follow us and support us through, you know, our drops, that your money is going to a group of people who really give a shit about the space and really care about building good products and cool experiences. So, you know, we as a group kind of slowly formed over time. You know, Trislet, you see there, he's kind of like the main founder, the other founder. Him and I kind of came together and started riffing on like what we could actually produce and how we could actually go to market. And so what we ended up with was this idea that was inspired by a little bit by some experiences that I had at the time, which was Crypto the Game. I don't know if you heard of Crypto the Game, but essentially,
No.
do you remember that? So that launched in January, was the first season. The second season took place in March, and I played the second season. And basically, Crypto the Game was Survivor, but digital. You bought an NFT, you had 10 days to compete. Every day you had a vote in your tribe to vote people out. Last person standing got like a shit ton of cash, right? And to me, through that experience, one, I thought it was really cool. Two, you know, being in the space for a while, the first thing I thought was like, there are going to be copycats of this. Like, there are going to be people who see the value in this because they did a really good job of curating a community and building hype, and also creating a really cool experience for the people who played. You know, like every day you were jumping in, it's a lot of like social gamified, you know, social interaction. So you're playing the game like 24/7 for 10 days straight, you know, or as long as you last. I think I lasted 7 days. I was pretty proud of that, man. I lasted a week. And then I actually
I gotta ask you, because like just seeing Tristan, is that his name? Tristan?
Yep. Yeah,
co-founder of NFT42, which if people don't know NFT42, one of those OG platforms. Okay, I don't remember if they made token standards, but it was kind of a launch pad. I don't remember if they did consulting. That's with Jimmy, right? Jimmy.eth.
Yep, Jimmy.eth.
Nate Alex as well, was he part of this?
Yep, Jimmy, Nate, and Tristan were the original founders, I believe, of NFT42. NFT42 is most known for Avastars, as well as the team that built VFriends. So they actually helped build VFriends.
I didn't
They
know
did all
that.
the tech. Yep, Tristan was writing the contracts, hollering at, you know, getting phone calls from Gary while he's out on vacation, stuff like that. He tells us some fun stories about those times.
But dude, when you start talking about like this Survivor kind of game, that right away starts putting me in that headspace of the NFT42 guys and Nate Alex again with his like Chain Faces Arena. It's again these experiential games that they span collectibles, yes, but this bigger, broader thing, and it keeps you really, really engaged. Like really cool. It's cool seeing these things starting to tie together.
Exactly, man. And I do think like, you know, Tristan's experience, like he's been in crypto. He's got stories. He was around when BTC had to split to like BTC, or no, sorry, ETH had to split between ETH and ETH Classic.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And he was part of the DAO, which is, for anyone who doesn't know, literally the first DAO ever created. So,
Oh wow, get out.
and I think if I remember correctly the story, and he's probably gonna like ping me and be like, dude, you got it so wrong. But I think like if I remember correctly, they were something having to do with their DAO is why they ended up having to do the rollback and splitting the chain. So he's got tons of experience, man. He's been around for a long time. He's a dope developer. He's also super creative. So yeah, man, he's an awesome like founder to have on the team. And he was first to join. He brought in the legal counsel who helped NFT 42 because we want to be 100% legit. We want to be above table. We want everything to kind of be. We want to build in the open, right? And so we wanted to make sure we did that all within like our legal bounds. And so he brought in Cliff. Cliff started as our kind of legal counsel, but has quickly turned into like a massive asset for storytelling and for puzzle building, because that is a big part of our experience. It's a lot of it is about being immersed in our universe and following this cast of characters through this really kind of intense story that we've built. And so, which is essentially Tech Trials.
Okay, so Leet Labs is the company, it's the entity, it's the creative heads are together there, and then from there you're building out experiences. I think a lot. You gave me like a rundown of some of it. It's honestly, guys, mind blowing, exciting. It's a lot of stuff I know I would be very into. So yeah, I think then get into the first game experience and even how that even came to fruition too. Going from Leet Labs to the first product.
For sure. Yeah. So first product's called Tech Trials. How that came to be, again, kind of looping back to where we started, which is I played, Crypto the Game. Crypto the Game was a really cool experience. I thought that, this is probably the next wave, is like creating NFT projects where you buy in and then, a portion of the proceeds go into a pot and then everybody's competing to try to like win that money. So we'll kind of loop back to that, but essentially you're playing Tech Trials to experience the game, to help these characters kind of get to their end goal. But the actual gameplay itself is you are trying to get all the words for a seed phrase. You're going to unlock a wallet at the end of this trail. That wallet's going to have a cache of crypto for you to collect as the first person to kind of crack the final puzzle. And then we also have, again, heavily involved in the narrative, the team that cracks that final puzzle will also get a decision to make, almost like a choose your own adventure. And they kind of make the last decision that takes part in the game that determines how the season one of Tech Trials ends. So
okay.
The player, super excited about that.
You'll probably get to this too, and you can tell me to shut up if you're still getting to parts, and I know you are. The players of the game, NFT holders, is it everybody?
Yep.
Like, what does the game itself look like?
Yeah, so basically what we ended up doing is we're looking at this as kind of like seasonal content. So season one, to play the game, we're going to have an NFC access pass sale. The access pass is going to give you the ability to access the game hub. And the game hub is something that we're super excited about. It's basically a Windows emulator that runs in a browser. And we're using that to seed parts of the story and narrative and puzzles and clues. So basically what's going on in the game is, we'll just talk a little bit about the narrative. You're following along this group of gray hat hackers called the Cypherpunks. Our setting is kind of, think like cyberpunky. It's like the year is kind of unknown in the future, but the vibe is very like mid 1990s chunky technology, like very cyberpunk, dude. Like, think a lot of the inspiration for like our design and stuff comes from like Blade Runner and Johnny Mnemonic and hackers and things like that. So the idea here is that you're following along. The group is led by the enigmatic Hal. Hal is basically the story starts with you guys talking about Hal's obsessed with this idea of digital cash. In this world, there's not a blockchain. That is not something that has been created. And essentially what players are going to do is they're going to follow along this mystery and adventure where they're going to help launch the blockchain, the first blockchain in this alternate universe. And that's done through, again, you get your game pass. The process of the onboarding there is kind of cool. We're really trying to make this, we're calling it an immersive gaming experience built on the blockchain. So we want you to feel when you're playing the game like you are actually in this universe. A lot of the content presents itself as real, although it's fake. There's websites that you're going to go to that feel like they're real websites. We've got some really dope stuff. Actually, last night we were up until like 2:30 in the morning because our OG community, we did an airdrop last night. So they all got these passes. They now have the ability to go and unlock the MVP desktop and start to experience the universe.
Dude, speaking my language and like my vibe, like all of it, cyber brokers kind of vibe again, like with 42 again, the stuff that you experience it by being a part of the story, the narrative. I love it, especially somebody like me, terminally online. Like I tell people, some people think community stuff just started here with NFTs, with Web3, and I'm like, man, this is just an evolution of communities. We're close in age. You were probably doing this back in the day 2 decades ago, and living in IRC and chatting with buddies and you guys are now making it a whole experience to like go and kind of live out like play a storyline while you're doing your onlining, whatever you do online.
Yeah.
I love
exactly.
it. What's
what we're doing. We're like heavily leaning into like that nostalgia, right? Like anyone who has been following along, something we started about a week ago was sharing like character profiles for some of the main characters. Again, the cypherpunk group is the core. The player is part of the cypherpunk group, right? So you're communicating with these hackers and essentially you follow along with Hal. Hal gets a job at this mega corporation called Soul Dynamics, who's known for prosthetics and implants. Very big on their philanthropy efforts and things like that. Hal basically brings the players in to be part of his security team. And so as a player, you'll go to the Soul Dynamics website to be able to purchase the access pass. You'll actually go through a process that makes you feel like you're filling out your like information form for a job. At that point, we have the option for you to share your address, your real world address with us, or maybe a PO box if you prefer.
Nice.
And then you receive your access pass. Access pass opens up the ability to now log into this desktop environment, and the desktop environment is essentially the Soul Dynamics like network. And so it's as if you are an employee of this company, and that's how the information is presented to you. And then basically you're off on the adventure. Hal starts to uncover some really interesting things about the company. Eventually Hal goes missing, and it is up to the players to, at that point, start solving puzzles, following clues. We like to say follow the white rabbit to figure out exactly what's going on in this alternate universe, why Hal went missing, what the heck this company is doing, and then how do you get to the point of launching a blockchain and why, right? And I think that's really a part of the story that we feel very proud of. Like, we feel like if you are an advocate for the technology, we have built a story where in this universe, outside of, the original blockchain, Satoshi obviously was really focused on the digital money aspect, fixing the banking problem. We are leaning onto the immutable aspect of the blockchain, and how can you leverage the blockchain for good in a way that maybe didn't exist before. And I don't want to give too much away, but that's kind of the point. And to answer Lemon's question, it's optional, man. If you would like to share your address, basically what that means is I didn't even get to finish that thought. So you're probably thinking like, why the hell would we give you my address? But the reason that you would share your address is that we actually have some we'll call them in-universe assets that we're going to be sending out to the players. So
You could,
you join the company.
You could a project asking your address for merch. You go buy their hat, hoodie, shirt, whatever.
And that is essentially what we want to be using it for. We're going to be, the first experience. I think we're kind of being open about. Hopefully, my marketing manager Julie does not kill me for this, but the first thing that we're going to be doing is that uses your address is you'll receive a welcome letter to Soul Dynamics from the CEO of the company, and it'll be like on a nice paper. It's going to be signed by the CEO. And so when we talk about like we want you to feel immersed, that's what we're talking about, right? Like we want you to randomly receive a piece of mail from a character in the universe. We want you to get pushed to calling a real world phone call that has a voicemail that is some cryptic message that you have to unlock, that pushes you to a website that maybe looks like it's a real pizza, company website, but in actuality, it's just part of our alternate universe. And so that's kind of why we're hopefully going to do a good job of communicating the reason for sharing that information. And again, it's totally optional. If you do share that information, you also receive a gift card that will get you some cash for a merch store where we actually have like Soul Dynamics, like, tongue-in-cheek stuff. Yeah, man. So super excited about it. We're doing a lot of stuff. We're really, hype about the narrative. The community, I think, is super interested, in the desktop and being able to use it for this game experience. And for us, again, I said last night we were up till 2:00 in the morning. We pushed our airdrop, which actually, dude, if you want to go to Magic Eden or OpenSea or something, you could actually pull up. I'm really excited about this because I think our creative director is killing it with the design. And this is the first time he's actually getting to share anything. If you search collections, and we did build on base.
Nice.
And we are leveraging we were actually accepted into the third web cohort, which gave us a lot of really cool credits and things like that and connections. And so we got a bunch of base credits. So we're leveraging that to do a lot of gasless transactions for our community. So we did an airdrop last night. If you search for OG Leet space L33T.
Wheat, W-E.
Sorry.
W-H.
L33 Leet.
Oh, Leet.
L33T. Yep. And then pass. It should be OG Leet Pass.
I think it's all one word. Oh, there we go.
Boom.
Nice.
Check this design out, dude. It's so sick. Yep, and then you can hit that and it'll go full screen.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
Right? So these are OG Leet passes. For the astute viewer, if you go down, you'll see that there's a trait that is marked on it as new.
Okay.
Don't know what that means. Maybe there's, a switch there that needs to be flipped. But what's really cool is that everything that we do is purposeful. And that's what we're trying to teach our community is that, when we drop something, you need to look closely because it's not ever going to be just the surface level of what you think it is, right? So a good example is we dropped the first character profile last week on Twitter. We hit a QR code in it. And all we did was we went to our community and said, the first person to find all 4 character profiles and share them in chat is going to get a special NFT from the collection.
Is this right here? Is this the character profile?
Yeah, dude. And so this is one of the character profiles. This is actually my favorite character, Zero. And for anybody, this is like where I get super nerdy and where I think the team really starts to completely nerd out, right? Which is we're hiding so many Easter eggs. So anyone who knows me knows that hands down my favorite band in the world is Linkin Park. Super hype about them coming back.
Dude, must have been a treat for you. I know this is going back, but you got to interview
yes.
What's his name?
Mike Shinoda.
Oh, dude.
Dude, talk about. I think that was peak NFT experience for me personally. Getting during and this is during COVID, so that's probably why he was down to join us because he wasn't doing much else but streaming on Twitch. But yeah, dude, I had Mike Shinoda on our show. Got to talk to him about NFTs and his art. I really tried to do my biggest I tried really hard not to fanboy. But before we went live, I was like, I just have to tell you, you literally saved my life, you know? And so it was a cool opportunity for sure. But yeah, so Linkin Park, my favorite band. If you're really astute, you know that Linkin Park, their first name was actually Zero with an X. And so shout out to Linkin Park. His name is a shout out to him. We've got another character named Moon. She's from another, like, so we're hiding a lot of like pop references, cultural references in the things that we're doing. Just as little Easter eggs, man, for people to find, right? Like
it's stuff like we chatted, like it's stuff that probably resonates with, I don't want to say just a specific demographic, age group, whatever. It sounds like there's a lot for a lot of different people here, which is cool. By the way, where the hell's the QR code? Is it already too late? Like,
oh no, no, that's actually that's not the first one we shared. So we only put the QR code in the first one. The first one that we shared was Hal, and Hal is like the leader of the cypherpunk group. Keep going. That one.
That one. Cool.
Yep. And then you see it?
Oh, there it is. Yep.
You know what's crazy is that, like, I'm telling you, so it's easy to identify, but it took almost 2 days before anybody in the community actually found the QR code and did something with it. So that made us feel pretty proud. We thought like maybe we made it too easy, but it's cool. You scan it, it takes you to a Trello board that has a very vibe, you know, Tech Trials vibe to it. And then on it was the other 3 character profiles.
Well, I mean,
so
the cool thing about this being like a living, breathing experience is if you find it's too hard or too easy, the next phase, the next rollout, you get to adjust as you go. You get to kind of keep tuning this thing and figuring out what works and just leaning into that stuff. Really cool. And I love the interactiveness of it. Can I fire off a couple of questions? I know you got more to share. Okay, so to Lemon's point about if you're not comfortable sharing the address, whatever, do you miss out on any part of the experience if you don't?
You're going to miss out on just like the immersiveness that we're trying to create through sending you real world assets, right? Like if that's not really important to you, if you're not the type of person, me as a collector, and essentially for anybody who knows, this is essentially a alternate reality game. So an ARG, not to be mistaken for AR technology, right? Like alternate reality games predate that by a long shot. I think the earliest one launched in the 90s actually. And alternate reality games are games that are played that purposely present themselves as if they're real. And so that's kind of what we're doing. And so if you're like me and you're a collector, I still have physical, like one of the ARGs I got into, they sent me a comic book. And like, it was, you know, it's really a cool experience to be sitting at home and like get a piece of mail and you look at like who it's from, and it's from this fake character that you've been interacting with on the internet. And you're like, what is this? You open it up and it's like, now it's a comic book, and it's a comic book that's telling the story that you've been following with little snippets that haven't been told online, right? So that's the kind of experience that we're building with the physical stuff. I'm not saying anyone's going to get a comic book necessarily, but I am saying that we have a couple of really fun ideas. You know, part of the experience, like I said, there's going to be challenges along the way. So we're building it in a way where there will be a big challenge that the whole community will try to race to solve. When they race to solve it, if you're first, you know, team or person to solve it, there'll be like a little stash of money for you to collect. And basically the narrative side of that is your pass for accessing the desktop and things is an employee badge, and you start at level 0 security.
Is that different from this, from the,
these are 2 separate things. So our OG Elite Pass, think of the OG Elite Pass as a proof pass. If you followed proof, they're basically what the OG Elite Pass is intended to do is give our most hardcore community members access to everything we do over time, right? So what the OG Elite Pass does right now is it's going to get you the free Tech Trials Pass for Season 1, which is that's the one that is going to be an employee badge. And then it's also going to get you a free mint of our PFP, which we're planning on launching after Season 1 concludes. And then in the future, we have some other ideas for what we can do with that and how we can leverage, you know, partnerships and things like that. And so that's the idea for the OG Elite Pass. And then you have the Tech Trials Pass. Shout out to all the homies in chat, man. What up?
Good group of people, right? It's great when you see
heck yeah, man.
They're good guys, good builders, awesome dudes. Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm saying it right, but the Yank Dude, I
Yank.
really appreciate the feedback. I super happy that you are vibing with it. Honestly, man, if you want to shoot a DM to me on Twitter or on Discord, my name on Discord is Ronin the Collector. The R, T, and C are capitalized. If you shoot me a DM with your base address, man, we're gonna hook you up with a OG Elite Pass. Man.
He's a great dude, by the way. So awesome.
Let's go. We want you in the community. If you're vibing with the idea, we want you in the community. So we're going to do that. We're going to give that one away to DeYank, and then maybe we'll give one more away before we wrap while we're chatting.
Killer. What's okay, time frame for the story to unfold, and then also how conscious are you of how you keep people engaged through different phases of the market, right? I mean, everybody's here when the market's cooking and it feels like it's going to cook. But you kick this off when things are maybe starting to bubble up, but not really, right? How do you keep people engaged, and how much do you care about, about like tuning your game for the market?
Honestly, man, we're hyper focused on creating a really cool immersive experience. We did feel like we were setting ourselves up for good timing when it comes to like the market. We felt like, sometime over the next few weeks, like things would be picking up. And so our hope is that we can get out into the community. We can get people playing with our MVP. Essentially, I don't know if I made that clear, but if you have an OG Elite Pass, you now have access to our MVP experience. And the idea is that we hope to get some feedback. We tweak it a little bit, and then when we go live with Tech Trials, we've got a really cool thing that we've built with our community in partnership with them, right? Timeline wise, we are looking to drop the Tech Trials Pass relatively soon. We did the airdrop of the OG passes last night. We've got next week, we've got what we're calling Elite Week, which is where we are going to be hyper focused on bringing in as many new community members as possible, and then getting them engaged and hype on Discord, and starting to like really build the interpersonal relationships between both us and the community, as well as the community and the characters. So we should hopefully be ratcheting it up when it comes to the content and stuff here soon. And then the idea is that like we've got the game planned out. We have puzzles, we have clues, we've got a lot of like things planned, but we want to make sure that we're hitting things that people actually enjoy. So the first couple of weeks of people being in the OG Elite desktop is going to help us fine tune that. And then the experience we think will play over, the course of, 4 to 6 weeks, maybe 6 to 8 weeks. Our intent is that it'll be kind of like a sprint stop. So, you'll be charged with cracking the, security level 1. Once a team cracks security level 1, there'll be a slower period, just depending on where we're at, where we're pushing just narrative content that helps build up the next sprint to unlock the next, bit of cash, as well as like the next big narrative points.
And all still part of the same overall world or story, or does this eventually, like an end to this story, brand new thing kicks off, maybe new characters cast? Like, do you have a goal of building out this is its own world and this is it?
100%. Oh. Yeah, dude. We're calling it the Elite universe. And so the idea is that season 1 of Tech Trials is very heavily focused. We're calling it Tech Trials Soul Dynamics. So, season 1, basically what we're trying to kind of hint at there is that we have intent on doing a second season. We do want it all to be in the same universe. We want you to be part of this cypherpunk group, and the cypherpunk group is kind of your home. And it's almost like episodic content on your favorite TV shows. We want everybody to have this one big, massive, puzzle to solve. And then once that's done, there's going to be a little lull. During that lull, we're planning on launching our PFPs. And then once the PFPs goes out, we have plans for season 2. And one thing I want to say about season 2 that I'm super excited about that we haven't really talked much about is our passes for season 1. If you get a season 1 pass, it's going to actually get you into any consecutive season that we launch. However, if you jump in season 2 and you buy a season 2 pass, season 2 passes are only good for season 2. Season 3 passes are only good for season 3, right? So one thing that we're doing is if you have a season 1 pass, it's going to come in like in kind of almost like a used state where it's like it's not exactly functional. You know, the NFT itself will have some issues, and then our idea and hope is that people are vibing. We do a good job of selling the product, and in season 2, your pass will actually upgrade, and we hope to have the ability to, like, if you have a PFP, your PFP will be reflected on your employee badge, right? So we've got a lot of fun ideas like that. We gotta make sure that it hits, and we gotta make sure that we're building out our community and you know, being as successful as possible and selling the product, because that's what's going to allow us to be builders. You know, we all have, at the moment, we all have kind of real life things that we're having to also juggle to actually bring in cash and money. Our goal is to launch a product that gives us enough cash to float us for, you know, 3 to 4 months, so we can continue building out really cool experiences on the blockchain.
That's all. I was just going to ask you about funding. Given that royalties has been a kind of nonstop issue here in the space, I don't know that anybody can fund off royalties anymore. And even here, we have a pivot. News that dropped in the past 30 minutes. Magic Eden is changing from their enforced royalties on these EVM chains, and Yuga Labs, who partnered with them specifically to enforce royalties, those are now going back to optional. So it's smart. It's great to hear that you're already planning for ways to make this sustainable. That you're thinking about how to do this in a way that you can really keep it going as long as you want, as long as people want. So honestly, great to hear that. By the way, did WG make the art on this?
Yes, all of our art is created by WG. When he sent this to us, man, the whole group was so like hype. I love it. There's even some little Easter eggs in there. There's a white rabbit that, you know, he hid in there that literally took me almost 3 weeks to fucking find. It was ridiculous. I was so frustrated, but it's awesome, right? And that's the type of things that we want our community to always kind of be on the lookout for and always kind of be interacting with. Trust me, dude, you're not going to just see it. You have to like look, and you have to also kind of tilt your head, and you also have to like zoom in. So it's but it's really cool, and we're really excited. I do want to answer a couple questions real quick, because I saw a couple roll in. First of all, I want to echo what Q said, dude. I think I told you this last night. I was so excited coming on today because I think you are a top tier interviewer. This has been a lot of fun. You do really great in just like, you know, hosting a guest. So I just want to give you, you know, I'm gonna give you your props.
Oh man, well, appreciate you, but you make this very, very easy. This has been a blast.
Oh man, I love that. And then Q also asked, like, is this going to get me back on base? What's the cost? Yes, it's going to get you back on base, hopefully. The cost has not been determined. Or not been announced. We have an internal idea for the cost. Again, our goal is to make this a sustainable, you know, fundraising event for our group of 5 people. Give us enough that we can kind of focus on just tech trials and elite labs. But at the same time, we understand it's a bit of a bear market. You know, anybody coming into the space that's asking to raise, you know, a significant amount of money really has to prove that they're worth a damn. And so we're trying our best to say, look at all the cool stuff we've built before we say, like, you know, now can you guys help us to like front the bill to build it?
Jesus, cat. I have a feeling when the time comes, I think people will be more than willing to. Again, it's hearing you talk here about the project. The project sounds, hang on, get off. Really fun. Like really fun. Speaking for myself, and I know there's a lot of people like me right up our alley. But the team you put together is fucking killer. It's again, a lot of those names I knew, some I didn't, but amazing team. Like I would have full confidence in a team like this. It looks pretty damn special, man.
Thanks, man.
Okay, let me think what else we want to hit on here. Well, let me, before I forget, because I have a knack for doing this. Stay plugged in, guys. Stay on top of this. It sounds like it's getting ready to cook. I mean, starting now. You airdropped these already. It sounded like last night. Sounded like some type of mint coming up soon too. So again, stay plugged in. Make sure you're following Ronin CC on X. Also, make sure you're following Tech Trials. Do you have an account for Elite Labs?
No, man, we're we didn't want to make it too complicated, right? Like we wanted to try to focus as much as we could on building like the Tech Trials brand, because that's what people are going to be interacting with right now. We do have the website. We will probably create one eventually, but you know, we felt like that's splitting the community a little too much, and we want to keep everybody focused on Tech Trials. So nothing for Tech Trials, but man, we would really appreciate anybody who's hanging out if you would throw us a follow, you know, like, retweet if you see stuff pop up. It helps tremendously. Every time that we put out a post, we see, you know, interaction, we see engagement, and you know, 1 or 2 new people drop in and come to the community. And if we're building, even if it's slow, as long as we're making progress, like the team feels extremely excited about what's happening. So one thing I did want to make sure I talked about, the Yank, thank you, sir. We appreciate you. Leet Week. Next week is Leet Week. That's the last thing I wanted to make sure we touched on before, like, you know, we move on to aliens or some shit. Leet Week is essentially, again, our push to build our community a little bit more, also bring people in and have them start to vibe together, right? One thing I thought was really kind of cool was somebody came into the community and said, I'm so excited to see an active Discord again. All the communities I'm in are completely dead. Hopefully this one actually sees some life, and we want to actually give people that space. So next week we're hella focused on doing things with the community, for the community. Monday we're going to have a town hall where, you know, I'll hop into Discord, we'll give some updates, we'll talk a little bit about puzzles, we'll talk some more about Tech Trials, we'll probably give a little bit of alpha. But more importantly, we're going to have an open AMA. And so it's an opportunity, for the first opportunity for our community to directly ask the team questions and get responses and get a little more info. Tuesday, we've got movie night where we're going to be showing Hackers. The idea there is that'll be probably a reoccurring thing that we do, where we show movies in our Discord that are influences that we pulled from, that maybe, you know, there's some Easter eggs involved with. Can't remember the rest of the week. Wednesday, I think, is game day. We're going to be doing some games. Thursday, I think we're doing a Twitter Spaces or X Spaces. And we're going to get some other founders and builders on there talking about building in the open. And then Friday, we are actually having the end of our creator contest. And so we put out some information last night. We're having our first contest as a community. Essentially, we're challenging the community to create a character in universe. And you can do that however you want. If you want to create a profile photo for a character and give us a bio, if you want to record an audio message by a character, if you want to record a video that's like a fake commercial, whatever you want to do that you like feel like would vibe and would fit our universe, we're challenging the community to create content. And basically the winners are going to have the opportunity to receive OG Elite passes if they don't already have them. If they do, then we're giving out elite role. Elite roles get you allow list access. So if you missed out on the OG role, if you don't have an OG pass, you don't want to go pick one up on the secondary because there's none listed.
I was going to say, good luck if you were trying. Yeah,
yeah, because there's none listed. You do have the opportunity to join the community, get involved, be engaged, and if you do, you get this role that gives you allow list access for our mint. Yeah.
You nailed the schedule. I don't think you even had it up in front of you, but you nailed it. I had it up just in case, dude. Perfect. Look, full week of fun stuff. I'm going to attend as much of that as I can. I'm in. I'm in the Discord, but I'm going to be following along and playing here too. It sounds, dude, incredible. Man, guys, any other questions? Fire them off for Ronin, and you should definitely come back too. You should definitely come back and drop some updates. You're usually here in the chat anyways, but dude, welcome anytime. Updates on the game. I think a lot of people here will probably be playing as well. So
I'd love to see people in the community, man, and come hang out, like join Discord, like join the the conversation. Feel free to reach out to me if anybody's watching and you're vibing with the idea. Or one of the things that I love about what we've built is that it really opens us up to some really sick partnership opportunities. So one of just an example is we partnered with Kane Mayfield. Anyone who knows Kane from the space, he does music in Web3. He does some really sick, really cool experiences as well. So we've got some Easter eggs on our desktop from Kane that are very in universe. He's got some music he shared with us. We are currently working on the ability for the desktop to be reactive based on what you have in your wallet. So if you connect your wallet and let's say you're Bored Ape, holder, and you log in, maybe you log in and you've got special access to a Bored Ape wallpaper, or all your icons are now Bored Ape icons, right? We want to partner with other projects, artists, creators and we welcome them to come into our universe, create an alternate, version of yourself. Like, if you're, we always play around with like, how cool would it be if we can get X copy in and he's producing art, but it's like completely different, shitty art or something, and we call him Y copy, right? Like little things like that we can, bend from reality into our own, I think is what gets us hype and excited. And yes, sir, DeYank, I play pickleball. I'm actually a certified pickleball instructor.
Where did you pick
That's how
that up
much I
from,
play
DeYank?
pickleball.
Where is there something in your background, or do you drop a reference?
He's going through my socials, which I love.
Damn,
I
that's
talk about
hilarious.
pickleball pretty regularly.
That's cool. No, I know a lot of people that play that now. It's a good pickup, DeYank.
Dude, yeah, it's awesome. It's a fun game.
Dude, good shit. Well, I got to thank you again for coming on and sharing everything. It sounds incredible, dude. It's not what I pictured at the start. It's bigger, better, more thoughtful, like everything. Again, it's my kind of thing. I'll certainly be involved playing. So, thank you very much, Ronin. Also, what a backstory, dude. Awesome stuff. Okay, we'll wrap there. I want you guys to be able to get ready for the Taproot Witches mints coming up in about 20 minutes. Before that, Vrew did hook us up with some whitelist for something here. So we're going to do it the way we have been doing it, just a simple retweeting the show and drop your Ordinals wallet address. He got us a really great one too. I'm pretty damn excited for this here. Guys, Inscriptpedia. Okay, this is a big old mint. It is inscribing books on chain. The first one, season 0, is Casey Rodamore's book. So they had, it's not a botch mint, wrong way to put it, a mint that was in such high demand, it was getting botted. So they scrapped that mint. They adjusted it. You got to get a whitelist now. Again, we got 2 here. They're first come, first serve. God damn it. I want to enter this one. I'm going to save it for you guys though. To enter, just retweet today's show, retweet it from the Crypto Slam account. I know it streams in a couple places. So go to the Crypto Slam account, retweet this stream here, the video stream here, retweet it. Make sure you're following Inscriptpedia and follow Crypto Slam and drop your wallet address in the comments. I'll draw that as soon as Vrew says I need it. It might be today. It might be later this weekend. Get it done sooner rather than later. And good luck, you lucky bastards. And then, of course, make sure you're following freaking Ronin and Tech Trials. Incredible stuff. I'll keep you guys updated on what's going on over there, too. Again, Ronin, you're welcome back whenever.
Thanks so much, Hudah. I appreciate you, man. Let me know when you want to spin up the alien and conspiracy theory Twitter spaces. I'm down.
Yep.
We should do that and just riff a little bit. And just one last thank you to everybody who's hanging out in the community. I'll throw out another opportunity. If you go and you do the same, like, retweet, let's just say our last post on the Tech Trials page, which was one of the character profiles. You're the first person to like, retweet, and comment your base address. It's got to be your base address, which is essentially, for anyone who doesn't know, your ETH address. We'll airdrop you one of those OG passes as well.
Is that this one right here?
So, that's the one. So if you go, you like that, retweet and comment your address, we're going to make sure you get one of these OG Tech Trials as well. And again, Hudah, thank you so much. Thank you to your community and to everybody who's watching, everybody who asked questions. I appreciate you guys, and I hope you have an awesome day, brother.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Guys, 99% sure no afternoon show today. I will tweet and give you the official on-off notice for that. If I don't see you, have a great rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow morning on Inside NFTs, 8:15 a.m. Eastern time. Guys, have a great day. See you.